Yeah, whoa. Look, they can never keep me down, I'm going. And if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up. I bet when I land, they gon' tell me it's luck again. See that I'm winning, it's harder to watch. I'm setting the stage, you should give me my props. You ain't got no soul, you lacking the spirit. You talk out your neck, I'ma show you I'm with it.
Guys, we did it. We're homeowners.
You just sit and watch me win again and win again and win again. I know it's probably getting on me and win a synonym. So if I ever win again, it's no I did the minimum. I didn't have to sell my soul. Oh, yeah.
Guys, can you believe we're here? Can you believe it? Oh my God. The lighting in this home is so bad. I mean, it's good for like seeing, but not for filming. There has been so much drama with this house. I am so glad that it's over. Home buying is a trip. I'm about to cook some dinner, so I wanted to bring you guys along with me and share the story of my house journey, give you very specific dates, what I had to do, how much money I put down, all the documents I had to sign, how I found my mortgage company, how I found this new build in the first place, what's a loan commitment letter, what's a closing disclosure, what is a certificate of occupancy, all these terms that I have never heard of in my entire freaking life. I kind of know what they are, I still am confused, but we're gonna walk through it together today. On the menu today is a lentil curry recipe that my cousin sent me. I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier, so I feel like that might be a good option. So let's go. So now we're headed to Whole Foods, but I feel like I've tortured you guys enough. I feel like I've been gone for so long. You deserve to see the house. Let's get into the house tour.
Closer, closer, closer. Closer, closer from the last one.
Around Halloween of 2020 is when I got on Zelle and I was just looking, as I always do, and I was just like, you know what, let me just get on here and like look. I saw this house. It hadn't been built yet, but I saw like it was still on the market. I had looked at it before, but I was just like, I'm not sure, I don't know. But I had seen so much trash on the market that when I saw this one and I saw the price, I was like, I know that I'm not gonna find anything better. So I came, saw the model home, and I was like, this is it, sign me up. So I came here, went into the model home, which looks just like this one. It was an end unit across the street. Seller's agent was there, and I was like, hey, this is the house for me. I brought my real estate agent and my sister along, and they were like, this is perfect, let's get it. I told the seller's agent, yes, I want this house, and he was like, okay, there's a wait list. And I was like, is there an end unit available? He was like, funny thing you asked that. I already made a video about how I manifested this house. I'll leave that video here if you're interested. Yeah, I was trying to manifest an end unit. I asked the seller's agent, I was like, do you have an end unit? And he's like, funny thing is, do you see that couple right there? Because it was me and my sister and my real estate agent, but then there was another group of two people there, I think a man and a woman. They just gave up their end unit because they want to move in quicker. So they want to move into the building that's being built right before yours, and they got an end unit in that building. So you have the last end unit available right now because that couple just gave it up. He was like, ma'am, if you don't take this, like it will be gone in like 30 minutes when the next person comes in. So it was just so serendipitous. I walked in, the people gave up the end unit, and I got the last end unit in all the townhomes that were being built in the entire community. So then on October 30th, I picked a mortgage company. I won't share the mortgage company because I would not recommend them. It worked out in the end, but it was just such a headache working with them. But the reason I chose this mortgage company was because the seller slash builder, they were like, hey, if you go with a mortgage company that we are partnered with, we will give you, I think it was about $4,500 towards closing costs. And that mortgage company will also give you maybe, I think it was like $2,000 to $3,000 towards closing costs. So basically we would cover 80% of your closing costs if you go with us. So I was like, sure, I'll go with them. So I reached out to the mortgage company on October 30th, and they asked me for my driver's license, my social security card, 60 days of bank statements, 30 days worth of pay stubs, and my 2018 and 2019 W-2s. And they needed all this information in order for them to do a pre-qualification letter. The pre-qualification letter just basically says they will give me a loan up to a certain amount of money. I was qualified for about $200,000, but I wasn't gonna use all of that money. I then sent it to the seller so that they could put it on file and officially put me on the list to get this house. And the seller, I was worried. I was like, what if someone comes behind me and like offers more? They were like, we're not taking that. We're not doing any bidding wars. We're selling the house for $200,000. That's it. You're on the list. It's first come, first served. You got here first, and no questions. So then a few days after that, my mortgage company sent me the estimated interest rate that they would be giving me, my total loan amount, and my estimated cash to close. And cash to close basically is how much you're gonna put down. So I wanted to put 20% down, my 20% down, and then on top of that, the closing costs that they expect me to pay. So that's your cash to close. So everything was done. All I needed to do now was wait for the city to approve construction, and that took 3 months. So from November to February 10th, 2021, I was just sitting around hoping that the city would approve this construction so I could go ahead and get ready to move. We got word that the permits were ready to go. The city was ready to build. I was like, thank God. So the selling agent asked me for an updated pre-approval letter, pre-qualification letter. I had to reach out to my mortgage company. My mortgage company sent me back. And they do that just to make sure that you haven't lost your job, that you still have money, etc., etc. So they constantly are gonna ask you to resubmit paperwork. On February 12th, I gave my seller's agent $1,000 earnest money. And what earnest money is basically a deposit that says, I promise that I am going to buy this home, and if I don't, you get to keep my $1,000.
Okay, so I just gave my earnest money, gave me my receipt, and it's crazy. I'm like looking at my plot right now. I'm like freaking out. It's like, this is my house, it's so weird. My real estate agent brought me some holy water from Colombia. I was like, I need to go find some holy water, because I don't know if y'all know I'm Catholic. I don't like practice or anything, but I was like baptized, confirmation, all that good stuff. So I was like, I need some holy water so I could like sprinkle it around. And he said, oh, I got some holy water at the house. So I was like, okay, great. So sprinkled the holy water around. We're like, this is like a safe space, and like we are protected, and it just felt so nice. I'm so excited. Oh my God.
On Valentine's Day, I signed the contract for the house. Then on February 22nd, I signed the contract with my mortgage company. Please read your contract. My contract was wrong. My closing cost numbers were incorrect. I was like, no, you said you were gonna give me this amount, but literally it was wrong. I sent it back. They gave it back to me. I signed it. So please make sure that you have a real estate agent that knows what they're doing. Read through it. In May 2021, they were still building my house, but then I signed up for homeowner's insurance. Homeowner's insurance is required, so I went with Allstate. They gave me a good price. I believe my homeowner's insurance is about $45 a month, and it's bundled together with like my mortgage payments. Throughout all the months, I'm just driving by, trying to see if it's being built, and still moseying along. Took forever. They're like, oh, it's gonna be done by April. It's gonna be done by May. It's gonna be done by June. They just lie, they lie. When you have a new build, just know whatever they say, add 3 months. So then on June 15th, I got an email from my mortgage company saying that I needed to pay $525 for an appraisal fee. On June 14th, I got an email from the lawyer's office, and the lawyer's office is the builder's lawyer. They're the ones who are kind of making sure everything goes right. They're like representing me, the mortgage company, and the seller, and then when we all come to the table, we all go to the lawyer's office. So the lawyer was like, hey, Aaron, you need to pay $250 for a closing letter fee. And in mid-June, the house is still not built. They said that it was gonna be done by June. They had given me a close date of July 2nd, and I kept coming by, and I was just like, I don't think this house is gonna be ready in time. The mortgage company reached out again, asking me for my updated pay stub information, my credit score information. Then in late June, I was like, all right, July 2nd. They were like, no, it's more gonna be like July 20, July 30. And I was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit. I don't care. New closing date was July 27th. So then by July, things started moving just a little bit. And so I decided to get a private inspector. It is a new build, so it should be safe. You would think you're not buying it from someone else and you like don't really know what's going on. Just to be safe, I made sure to get a private inspector, and that cost about $325. And July 14th, I sent more information to my mortgage company again, pay stub, my credit. So then on July 17th, my mortgage company asked me to sign a loan commitment letter. And this is where things were drama. They were like, we don't have this paperwork, we don't have this, it's so much drama. Just know you need to be on your P's and Q's. You need to be on these people, and you need to be willing to walk. And I know that's a very privileged thing to say. Like some people, like they're strong-armed and they have to, I get that. But don't put yourself in a position where you're gonna sign your life away and you're not comfortable with how they're operating. So I had to dig in some ass. Like they were dragging their feet to the last minute. On July 20th, I did a walkthrough. So a representative from the builder was there. I was there, my real estate agent was there, and we just came in here and we just walked through, showed different parts like, hey, you need to paint this, you need to do this. So kind of like nitpicking things. And then after that, they were supposed to send me a closing disclosure. I was like, why have you not sent me the closing disclosure? Like, oh, well, the lawyer's office didn't send us the exact fee, so we can't give you an exact estimate on the closing costs without the lawyer's fees. Call the lawyer's office. I was like, yo, send them the fees. They're like, we already did. I was like, yo, hello, mortgage company, lawyer's office. No, they didn't, blah, blah, blah. So it's just like me trying to connect the dots. Like, don't y'all have each other's number? I don't know what I'm doing. And then they weren't giving me the money, like my closing costs. They kept trying to say that they weren't giving me my closing costs. I was like, no, I signed a contract with you all. Look at the contract. You told me you were gonna give me this amount of money. And they're like, oh, well, they're trying to drag their feet. I was like, no, you're gonna give me this money. The closing disclosure shows how much money I need for cash to close. So I needed to know how much cash I needed to send to the lawyer. I saved this amount of money in like 3 years. I have a couple videos already of how I saved that money. So on July 24th, I still had not had my closing disclosure letter. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send this because closing date is July 27th and you guys are playing with me. I'm closing on this date. So I knew around how much I needed to send, but I didn't know exactly. And I didn't know they were gonna play with me and not give me my closing costs and blah, 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 blah. So I sent the wire without the closing disclosure. 24th of July was a Saturday. Wells Fargo was like, we don't send anything out on Saturdays. The money in America's closed or some shit. I was like, of course. So I tell you, I was checking those numbers. When you send a big, large amount of money, like I called the lawyer's office like 3 times to talk to 3 different people, and I was like, is this the route? Is this the routing number? Is this the number? They will send you everything via email in a very secure way. Like I had to type in like 3 different passwords to get in. Like there are pirates out there who will take your shit. You will send them $40,000 and it's gone. It's gone. Okay, let's taste it. That bitch is chef. It's good, it's good. My final closing disclosure was finally sent on that Monday, the day before I was closing. So they sent it to me July 26th, I closed the 27th. And I was just like, you know what? Y'all ain't shit, whatever. So they finally got the numbers right. It's always down to the wire. So then on the 27th at 11 a.m., I went to the lawyer's office to sign my papers. We are 30 minutes from signing. I'm at the lawyer's office. I feel like an anxious calm. I don't know what that means, but that's how I feel. Like calm, but just ready for it to be over. I chew on straws when I'm nervous. So you would think everything's all hunky-dory, everything's all great. No, they would not give me my keys. They would not give me my keys. So there's something called a CO, which is a certificate of occupancy. And the city still had not sent the lawyer's office the CO. And without the CO, you legally cannot live in that property. They basically were like, if you don't get the CO within a certain amount of days, you have to come back and re-sign. So then 4 p.m. that day on July 27th, the CO was approved.